Dear friends and also the new viewers of the Tom Photo channel, I'd like to share with you a quick and simple trick to bring old ugly JPEGs back to life. Although it doesn't work in every single situation, it works surprisingly often and it's really easy to test. I'm showing you some photos with bad colors and contrast. Clearly these photos didn't turn out and you'd be tempted to just delete them. But what if you need those photos and you cannot go back in time and take them again? Then this is what you can try. Depending on your situation, you need to take 1 to 3 quick steps, just a few quick clicks. I'm now showing you the typical scenarios that you'll encounter. Alright, let's get into it. So this is my first image I want to show you. It's pretty pale looking. The colors are washed out and there's no contrast, so it's not very good looking, as I'm sure you agree. So the simple thing you can do to make it look immediately so much better is go to Colors, Auto, White Balance, and see what happened. It became so much better. Let me give you another example. So this image is not actually bad, but it's not very interesting. I guess it could benefit from much more contrast and much better colors. And again, we're doing the simple thing. Go to Color, Auto, White Balance. And you see how the dead trees stand out and the image has become so much more interesting. Let me run through a couple more to show different situations you might encounter. This is a fog image and it is not bad, but again we could give it additional life by going to Auto and White Balance. And check this out. Well, here you might want to reduce the colors a little bit to make it look more realistic. And let me give you yet another example. To me this image is rather confusing. It's not even clear what's in the picture. But when we do Colors, Auto, White Balance, well, it became much better. Although I do agree that it's not realistic looking, but at least you have a cool picture. And let me now show you the images before and after the treatment. And let's see if you like the differences or not. Okay, so next I'd like to show you some examples where the Colors Auto White Balance correction is perhaps not enough. So let's first do Colors Auto White Balance, and you see that it improved the picture a lot, but we now have a lot of contrast. So how do we cure that? As the second step, we can do curve flattening. So I open the curves and let's just make it more flat looking. Let's just raise this and lower it over here. And we're done. And look, this actually looks pretty good now. Okay, let's look at yet another example of the same type. So nice giraffes here. The picture is not good looking, not enough contrast. So we do Colors, Auto, White Balance. And it became very obvious now that we have these giraffes here. But the parts of the trees are too dark and too contrasty, so let's go to Colors, Curves, and let's flatten the curve. Let's go up here and pull this down a bit. And we're done. And this looks like a pretty decent picture to me now. Alright, let's go to even more examples. And here's a good one, I think. Well, that picture really looks bad. Colors, Auto, White Balance, and it became very dramatic and almost a decent picture, but I think it's a little too dramatic. So we're going to Colors, Curves, go up here, pull this down, okay, and this picture is not bad at all anymore. Okay, so by flattening the curve, what we're doing is we're making the dark areas a little bit lighter and we're bringing out the clouds a little more. The clouds are the light areas. And I think I had one more example for you. and that's this one. And with this I would like to highlight how this technique works with water. Nice, right? Became a lot better, but the contrast is a little bit too much. So again, we are going to curves, up and down, and OK. And this is a pretty okay picture now. And again, I'm showing you the images before and after we treated them with the automatic white balance correction and flattening of the curve. And as you're doing those two steps that I showed you previously, sooner or later you're gonna run into a situation where the colors are gonna be so much off as a result that you need to do something in addition. And now I'm showing you those examples. So let's do colors auto white balance, and it became very high contrast, and also the colors are weird. Let's now go on to our next step, which is the curves flattening. Okay, up and down, and it became a lot better. But you see that we still have a problem. The sand here is green. So as a third step, we need to fix the color. So we're going to color balance. We are going to increase the reds a little bit. We are going to pull down the green and perhaps add just a little bit of blue. And I'll do OK. And you see that this picture is now much better. Let me give you another example that I had prepared for you. Here's the most dramatic example of perhaps. This picture is not bad, but I would just like to show you what can happen when you auto-correct the white balance and how to fix this. So we do auto white balance. It became very interesting, but the colors, the contrast, everything is off. So we're doing the curves again. Okay, so it became better, but the colors are a bit artificial. So again, we're going to colors, color balance, and let's see, what do we have here? I think we have too much green, so we have to reduce green. I like to give my pictures a little bit red. I just like that, so I'm doing this. And now with the last one, yellow or blue, let's go with blue. And OK. All right, and this to me is a pretty interesting picture. And these are the two images side by side, before the treatment and after. So here the measure of good or bad is simply what looks good to the eye. And you may say that this is not the most high level of fixing photos, and you'd be right. However, there's only so much you can do with the old information-thin JPEGs, and it works, so give it a try. Also, I'd advise to test out the automatic white balance correction with photos that you already like. Maybe they get better. And in the end, you may want to sharpen your image a bit. Below is my link to my GIMP tutorial for photo sharpening. I hope you like it. Thanks so much for checking out the Tom Photo channel, and I hope to see you again in my future and past videos where I talk about photography related matters. Thanks so much.